Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL STAR. Today I gonna discuss about top 10 popular buy-sell comparison of player for game week 35 based on player performance. So before starting, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel. Now let's start. 49k FPL manager transfer in Rashford, and if you don't have Rashford in your team, I think going for Rashford should be your number one priority because he will play West Ham away, and West Ham defensively are not in good shape, and that's why Rashford is essential. And if you look at his goal involvement ratio is 1.05, which is also good. That's why he is number one. The second one is Stupinian. I think he was also essential for game week 35 because he has got two double game week fixture in game week 36 and 37. In game week 35, it's not ideal. Arsenal away, Newcastle away, but in game week 36, he has got Southampton home and Manchester City fixture. So that's why I think going for his opinion is a good option because he playing very advanced for Brighton, and he's sometimes ahead of the left winger for Brighton, and that's why I think he is essential. But I prefer Rashford over Stupinian because if you don't have Rashford, he might hurt you, but Stupinian will hurt you just for one assist or one goal and might be one clean sheet. But Rashford can get mega haul, and that's why Rashford is ahead of Stupinian. Now move on to the third and fourth option, and third option for this game week is Kevin De Bruyne, and I think Kevin De Bruyne will be fit ahead of Leeds home because he was not totally out of favor now. He was not long-term injury, so that's why you should go for Kevin De Bruyne because his underlying data looks good. In the last four matches, he got 49 points, where he scored three goals and also provide five assists, and his point per match ratio is 12.3 and expected goal ratio is 1.15, which means his data looks amazing. And I think before Champions League match against Real Madrid, he will be play in Premier League against Leeds home because he needs fitness in this kind of match, and that's why he should play. And as his data looks good, so he is essential. But I'm not totally convinced of his minute ahead of game 37 and game 38 because if City win the league, then he might be rotated, and that's why he is after Rashford and Stupinian. And I think he is ahead of Alexander Arnold because Alexander Arnold doesn't have any double gaming, but Kevin De Bruyne has. But Arnold has got one thing in his belt, and is his goal limit ratio as a defender is 0.70. Though Liverpool in defensively are not very good team now because they are conceding goal and their defense looks leaky. So that's not a good thing for Alexander Arnold owner. But if you look at his expected goal limit ratio is so good that you might be tempted to going with him, and their picks are also good like Brentford home is hard, but Leicester away, Aston Villa home and Southampton away all are okay fixer for Liverpool, and now they are only playing for English Premier League top four. So I think that's why you should go for Alexander Arnold for attacking return, and that's why he's in the fourth list in this list. Now move on the fifth one and sixth one, and I think Alexander Arnold is ahead of John Stone. If you look at John Stone, his underlying data like goal limit ratio is 0.07, where Alexander Arnold got 0.70. But John Stone has double game week in game week 37, where Alexander Arnold doesn't have. But I still prefer Alexander Arnold because his underlying data. I think John Stone little bit of lucky of his two goal in last two match, and that's why he is in the picking order behind Alexander Arnold, and John Stone is that's why in the fifth one, and the sixth one is Luke Shaw. And if you look the playing position for Luke Shaw is now center back, and he is not totally attacking, and that's why he is behind John Stone because John Stone can give you some attacking return as he's playing for inverted right back position, but looks so playing so defensively, and that's why he's behind John Stone. Now move on to the seventh and eighth option, and seventh option is Poulson, and I think going for Luke Shaw or Johnstone is good because if you go for them, they can give you clean sheet. But if you look at Poulsen fixture for game week 35 is not favorable, where Johnstone got Leeds home and Luksha got West Ham away, so there might be clean sheet. But I don't think that against Arsenal, whose these teams are playing very well, and I think Newcastle are not got this kind of power to get multiple return for Wilson like 2 or 3 goal win. So I think there will be a low scoring game in this match. And that's why, though his underlying data of Wilson looks amazing, his goal win ratio is 1.75, which is highest in all buying player in top 10, and that's why I think it's a good thing you can go for Wilson, and that's why he's optional, that he has something good but something bad because his fixture is Arsenal home match, and that's why he is an optional option, and I prefer him over Isak because of, if you look at Isak Goldman ratio is 0.763, where Wilson has got 1.75, and that's why Isak is behind picking order of Wilson. And also look at Isak position when Wilson is in the field. Isak playing in the left wing and Wilson in the right, Wilson in the center position, and that's why Wilson will get more chance of scoring, and that's why he is ahead of Isak. Now move on to the ninth and tenth one, and ninth one is Mings, and I don't think now Mings is a good option for your team because if you look at his fixture for game week 35, it's okay. Wolves away, I think Aston Villa has a great chance to maintain clean sheet, but after that long time, I don't think they can maintain clean sheet in game week 36. Tottenham home, Liverpool away, and Brighton home. All the three teams are very good in attacking sense, and that's why there will be no clean sheet for Aston Villa. And Tyron Mings are not attacking player, and he will not give you assist or goal like that. That's why you should ignore this kind of buy. And that number 10 is Pascal Gross. In last match, he's scoring 2 goals, and a lot of FPL manager going for him. But I think it's a surprising one that he scored 2 goals because he's playing deep. But in this match, he scored one from outside the box, and that's amazing shot. But I don't think it will happen in every match, and that's why you should ignore. And I prefer Mings over Pascal Gross because if you go for Mings, you will get point in game week 35, where Pascal Gross, I don't think that has got enough opportunity to get good point in game week 35 or ahead of game week 36, 37 because he will play deep, and that's why Mings is ahead of Pascal Gross. And now move on to the game week 35 popular sell priorities, and first player you should sell if you have is Ben Me, and a lot of FPL managers selling him like 24k manager already sell Ben Me, and I think it's a good decision because if you look at his fixture, it's Liverpool away game week 35, game week 37 Tottenham away, and game week 38 Manchester City home. So I am not expecting clean sheet from Brentford there, and that's why you should sell Brentford defender. The number 2 is Odegaard, and I think selling Odegaard is a good transfer but not essential. In his last match, which is now playing against Chelsea, he already scored 2 goals, and it means his form is now back. But if you look at his underlying data before that, it doesn't look good. I first place him in the essential sell category, but now I am putting him in the good category because of his form gaining, and that's why you should sell Odegaard because he doesn't have got double game week fixture in game week 36 or 37, and also got hard fixture in game week 35 and 36 because Newcastle in at home playing very well, and I don't expect Arsenal to score a lot of goal in this match, and Brighton also are a good team. So in these two fixtures, I think Odegaard is not a very good option, but after that he can be good option against Nottingham Forest away and Wolves home. Now move on to the third and fourth option, and I think you should sell Odegaard first if you still have Odegaard than Tony, because if you look at Tony, he can obviously score against any opponent because he is the main point for Brentford. Liverpool ever is not good, but Tony can score goal, and that's why he is behind picking order in sell category than Odegaard. And the fourth one is Saka. And I think if you have Odegaard in your team, you need to sell Odegaard first. But Saka, I think he will play in the right wing position, and he is totally named for Arsenal. In recent match, he is not performing well. Like his under though looks good, like 0.61 in goal involvement ratio, where Odegaard has 0.28. This means Saka is playing advanced than Odegaard. But one thing about Saka is that he is not as advanced as Gabriel Jesus or Martinelli, and that's why he has get occasional return, and that's why he's a good sell because they don't have any double game week fixer in game week 36 or 37. Now move on to the fifth and sixth one. It's fifth one is Pereira. A lot of FPL managers selling Pereira, and I think it's a good decision one sense because you can go for five midfielder because now midfielder are playing very well and there are a lot of midfielder you should go for, and that's why you should need a spot there and you can sell Pereira for this. But if you look at his price point like 4.4, which is very cheap, and that's why you can obviously hold him. And I think if you have Tony and Saka, then you need to sell this kind of player fast and then Pereira because he's cheaper one. You can afford him. A lot of FPL manager now want to go for Kevin De Bruyne, Salah, Bruno Fernandes. All are very expensive, so you can afford Pereira in the bench. Now move on to the sixth one, and it's Jota. A lot of FPL managers selling Jota, but I don't think it's an obvious one. You should sell him. It's an optional option because Liverpool doesn't have any double gaming. But if you look at Jota's performance, he's playing well. His goal ratio is 1.03, which is quite high. But he has got some fitness issue. But I think it will be all solved against Brentford home because this match is very far. So that's why I think Jota will be fit, and that's why selling Jota is an optional option. But you can obviously sell him because he doesn't have double gaming and also got rotation risk because of fitness issue. Now move on to the seventh and eighth one, and I think if you have Jota, then you need to sell Jota ahead of Grealish because if you look at Grealish, he's totally fit and totally named for Manchester City, and they will play against Leeds home in game week 35, which team are not in good shape, and I think Manchester City in this match can score 4, 5, or 6 goals, and then I think Grealish will be involved there. And if you cannot afford to go for Kevin De Bruyne, then I think Grealish is a good option, and that's why you don't need to sell this kind of player, and you should ignore this kind of sale. Now move on to the eighth one, and it's Trippier. A lot of FPL managers are selling Trippier against Arsenal home, but I don't think it's a good decision because if you look at Trippier performance, it's not performing well now, but he has got double gaming in 36, and you need some defensive player in your team for Newcastle double gaming fixer, and I think Trippier should be the one you should now hold. And if you don't have Trippier now, don't need to buy him because against Arsenal, whom I don't expecting clean sheet from Trippier, but I think if you have Grealish, you want to sell Grealish, I think you should ignore this kind of selling, but you can still sell Grealish, but don't sell Trippier because he has got double gaming fixer and he's the best defender for Newcastle. Now move on to the 9 and 10 player, and it's Watkins, and he is number one sale now, and 45k manager already sell Watkins, but I don't think it's a good decision because against Wolves, I think Watkins can score multiple return because Wolves are not defensively good team now. They are leaking goals, and Watkins are in great form few days back, but now he's not that good form. But I still think that he can damage Wolves defense, and that's why you should ignore this kind of sale. You can sell him in game week 36, but for game week 35, you need to hold Watkins, and I think he has got better fixture than other player team. Like if you go for Newcastle attacker Isak or Wolves only, it doesn't have got favorable fixture where Watkins have got very nice fixture. So that's why you should hold Watkins and you should ignore this kind of selling. And number 10 is Mitoma. A lot of FPL manager selling Mitoma because in last match he was benched and coming as a sub appearance, which is not good for his owner. but don't sell him, because you need to ignore this kind of sell. Because if you look at Mitoma, he is the main man for Brighton. He was rested in one match, but it doesn't mean that he will not start any match and he will not play. So that's why you should hold Mitoma and ignore selling Mitoma. And that's all for today. If you enjoy this video, please like this video, and if you are new in this channel, obviously subscribe this channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon and make comment that if you enjoy this kind of content. Now good luck for your team.